Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Cuba suffered a second nationwide blackout over the weekend, hours after officials said power was slowly being restored. According to Cuba's energy ministry, Saturday's blackout follows an island-wide shutdown of Cuba's electrical grid last Friday after one of the island's major power plants failed. Previously, Cuban officials said small pockets of power had been restored across the island, but there were no immediate numbers provided of how many people had their service reconnected. The blackouts threatened to plunge the communist-run nation into a deeper crisis, as without power, people would also have no running water and refrigerated food would quickly begin to spoil. On Saturday, the Israeli government said a drone targeted the Prime Minister's house, but there were no casualties. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said the drone targeted his home, but neither he nor his wife were home. In addition to the drone launched at Netanyahu's private residence, Israel's military said some 180 projectiles were fired throughout the day on Saturday from Lebanon. The Israeli Fire Service said it was battling several blazes resulting from missiles in the Shlomi area, less than a mile from the Lebanese border. The barrage comes as Israel considers its response to an Iranian attack earlier this month and presses its offensives against Hamas militants in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon. On Sunday, the bodies of two U.S. Navy pilots who were missing in the wreckage after their fighter jet crashed near Mount Rainier in Washington state last week were found. The Navy said in a statement that the pair were in a Navy EA-18G Growler on a routine training flight when it crashed. The wreckage of the plane was found Wednesday, but the two crew members remained missing and the search for the bodies was ongoing. Commander Timothy Warburton, commanding officer of Electronic Attack Squadron 130, said a search team continues to comb through a large area, recovering debris and planning for the long-term salvage and recovery effort. The crash site is around 6,000 feet above sea level in a heavily wooded area east of Mount Rainier, the Navy said last week. The cause of the crash is under investigation. In a turn of events, Robert Robertson, the first person set to be executed in the U.S. based on the largely discredited shaken baby syndrome hypothesis, was granted a temporary hold on his death sentence. Late last Thursday evening, the Texas Supreme Court issued a temporary stay in the case, delaying the looming execution and capping, for now, a back-and-forth series of legal maneuvers, including an earlier decision by the U.S. Supreme Court not to intervene in the case. According to the communications director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, when Robertson learned of the last-minute delay of his execution, he was shocked. A legislative hearing at which Robertson is set to testify is scheduled this week in the Texas state capitol. In the U.S., shortages of critical IV fluid have been intensified by disruptions from Hurricane Helene. The Biden administration stepped in to invoke the wartime powers of the Defense Production Act to help speed recovery efforts. As the storm swept through the Western North Carolina last month, it severely affected operations at Baxter International's North Cove production site, the largest manufacturer of IV fluids and dialysis solutions in the country. After a pause, Baxter resumed distribution of supplies, but with significant restrictions on the amount that could be ordered. Since last week, Baxter has expanded order capacity to up to 60% of typical volume for some of the most in-demand IV fluids. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has declared multiple shortages as a result, and hospitals have been rationing supplies and postponing surgeries in some cases. The CDC also issued a health advisory about the shortages last week. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Let's talk portable electric space heater safety. These heaters must not be left unattended. Place them on a stable base 3 feet from combustibles. Their use is not recommended within a bedroom, but if you must do so, place a smoke detector on the ceiling within the bedroom. Plug a portable space heater directly into the outlet, avoiding extension cords. Thus, do not use lamp cords or power strips for this purpose. Are portable, unvented propane and oil-filled heating appliances safe to use within a residence? No. Massachusetts prohibits their use. These heaters produce asphyxiant gases. These gases can render an occupant incapacitated or dead. Please consider your safety during these upcoming colder months.
Welcome back. Braintree police are investigating a shooting on Skyline Drive after an individual was shot on Sunday night. Officers responded to a 911 call around 9:30 p.m. Sunday and found a male with an apparent gunshot wound to his leg, according to a news release from police. Police said, quote, several officers responded and found a male suffering from what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the leg. The victim was treated by Braintree police officers, firefighters, and paramedics, end quote. The individual was then taken to a Boston hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities said they are still gathering information and cannot release additional details yet. According to police, there is no ongoing threat to the public. Workers at Braintree's Logan Express location are in hot water due to theft charges after an investigation into stolen bus ticket revenue. Officials say that 3 employees who worked for ABM Industry Groups collecting revenue at the Braintree site and 1 who did the same at the Framingham site will face criminal charges for the alleged theft. The alleged thefts also prompted Massport to end its relationship with ABM Industry Groups, who the Port Authority contracted to run revenue collection and operations at Logan Express locations. Officials said they were made aware of the potential theft of bus ticket revenue thanks to a tip submitted to Massport's hotline. That investigation began this June in Braintree when it was discovered that cash payments for bus tickets were stolen by 3 employees. The investigation then moved to Framingham, where officials found theft happening by another contractor in August. Officials said a new company will be overseeing operations at the sites next month. Norfolk County Sheriff Patrick W. McDermott has announced the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office will host a veterans-focused House to House for Heroes on Saturday, November 9th. House to House for Heroes will take place on Veterans Day weekend, starting with a special ceremony at the department's Braintree Public Safety Complex, located at 2015 Washington Street. After the ceremony, an army of volunteers will head out to connect with veterans in partnership with the Braintree Veteran Services Office. Volunteers will visit the homes of veterans in Braintree to share vital information about the important resources and new benefits available to them. Norfolk County residents who are interested in joining this effort as volunteers are encouraged to sign up. Head to norfolksheriff.com for more information. The Bo Sox Club hosted their 2nd annual Sox and Suds event with some special guests. The Bo Sox Club, the original fan club of the Boston Red Sox, celebrated a night of baseball at the Widowmaker Brewing Company on October 17th. Dan Shaughnessy, Boston Globe columnist, and Derek Lowe, pitcher for the 2004 Boston Red Sox World Champions, were both special guests, sharing stories and personal experiences with the Red Sox. Those in attendance not only got the chance to hear some personal stories of their favorite baseball team, but there was also a chance to see the 2004 trophy, get some autographs, and buy some special memorabilia. Here's a little from Derek Lowe on the 2004 Red Sox and Boston fan base.
I know Kevin said don't let us win one, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there was a lot of us that thought we were to come back. I'm being honest, like we had to win 4-0, we're getting our, kicked in, and to think about having to beat them. But we always, I was with Schilling and Pedro and all that, we kind of felt like we had a chance. But so Game 7 is probably the greatest thrill of my life. A lot of people probably don't realize even who we played in the World Series, nor do I. I don't really remember a lot of it, but I remember everything of the Yankee series. Beautiful time in sport. If you look at the guys that were playing, some of the greatest players that ever played the game. Obviously 03 wasn't the greatest ending. But yeah, it was just a beautiful time in my career, and I love playing here for 8 years. Obviously, I played years past that, but there was nothing like playing here. You guys are some of the greatest. You are the greatest fans in the game. Thank you very much.
To watch more, check out the full event on BCAM TV's public channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 28, or on youtube.com/BCAMTV. On another note, fall curbside yard waste collections have begun in Braintree. Pickup will be on your regular collection day from October 21st through the week of December 2nd. Curbside yard waste pickup includes grass, leaves, brush, limbs, shrubs, and branches that are in paper bags or an open container that weighs less than 50 pounds. For any questions, please contact the Mayor's office at 781-794-8100. The town of Braintree is gearing up for a festive and spooky celebration with its Halloween Family Fun Day on Saturday, November 2nd from 1 to 3 p.m. at Braintree Town Hall. Families and children of all ages are invited to enjoy an afternoon packed with fun activities and Halloween spirit. One of the event's main attractions will be Trunk or Treat, where participants decorate their car trunks in creative themes, offering candy to trick-or-treaters. A prize will be awarded to the best trunk, so attendees are encouraged to get creative. In addition to Trunk or Treat, the event will feature face painting, candy, music, and other surprises to keep the fun going. Kids and adults are encouraged to wear their favorite costumes and immerse themselves in the Halloween festivities. Those interested in registering a trunk can email ehume@braintreema.gov to sign up. However, no registration is needed for attendees. Braintree's Department of Elder Affairs has a number of activities lined up for seniors this October. To start, every Friday, the center is hosting an event called Fun Movie Fridays, where you can watch a different movie every week at the center for free. Some one-time events to keep an eye on include the iPhone and iPad Tech class on October 25th at 1:30 p.m. The class is $3 per person. Then, for $2 on October 28th at 1 p.m., you can join Nancy and Ginny for some Christmas craft making. And on October 29th, the center is hosting an Alzheimer's support group at 4 p.m. For more information, contact the department at 781-848-1963 or stop by at 71 Cleveland Avenue. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Steps to keep yourself and your family safe from ticks and the illnesses they can cause. Use EPA-approved tick repellents on your skin and clothes. Read and follow the directions. Wear light-colored clothing to make it easier to spot a crawling tick. Check for ticks on yourself, your kids, and your pets anytime you've been outdoors. Some tick bites can make you sick, but finding and removing a tick properly makes it less likely. Call your doctor if you start to feel ill or notice a rash near the bite. Play it safe when you're outdoors.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Changes are being made at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office following a review by Colonel Jeffrey Noble, the new head of the Massachusetts State Police. Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, the State Police Detective Unit Commander at the District Attorney's Office, has been transferred. State Police said last Friday that Tully has transitioned to a temporary assignment in the Division of Investigative Services. Tully is the subject of an ongoing internal affairs investigation, and he was one of Trooper Michael Proctor's supervisors. Proctor remains on unpaid leave as he awaits the outcome of an internal affairs investigation. A spokesperson for the state police said Detective Lieutenant Tully will continue to be available to assist the Norfolk DA's office with any cases he was previously involved with. Many Quincy elementary students are getting free books and a great chance to become better readers thanks to a new program that is making its debut in the city's schools. Students at Clifford Marshall Elementary School welcome special guests like House Speaker Ron Mariano of Quincy to launch a reading program giving kids from low-income backgrounds greater access to books and the opportunity to choose their own reading paths. Scholastic, the publisher and distributor of children's literature, collaborated with Governor Maura Healey and the state legislature to launch its United States of Readers program. Designed for Title I schools with high percentages of low-income households, the initiative lets students choose 10 free books over the course of the academic year. Each classroom teacher will also choose 25 books for their classroom libraries. According to Scholastic, Quincy is the first to launch the program, but United States of Readers will soon include Revere, Holyoke, Framingham, and the Southern Berkshires before going national. The New England Wildlife Center's annual event, Night of 1,000 Faces, is coming back. On October 25th and 26th, the center's trails will be lined with 1,000 carved and lit jack-o'-lanterns for the two-day event. The event runs from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and admission is $10. The event also includes tours of the hospital, animal demonstrations, Halloween displays, music, and treats. Night of 1,000 Faces has attracted nearly 4,000 people each year and is an important fundraiser for the center, which cares for injured and orphan animals and runs education programs. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office is partnering with Coats for Kids and Families to help thousands of people who may not have access to warm winter coats as the colder weather starts to settle in. Sheriff Patrick McDermott said in his release, quote, "With the chill in the air, we are all digging through closets for that perfect coat to keep us warm. As you find yourself searching, please consider donating any children's or adult winter coats you no longer need. We are looking for warm winter coats that are new or gently used, good quality, and all sizes," end quote. Collection bins will be in the lobbies of Norfolk County Correctional Facility in Dedham and the Civil Process Office in Quincy, starting Friday, October 11th. The coats will be professionally cleaned by Anton's Cleaners and given to local nonprofits, social service agencies, and schools for distribution in Norfolk County and beyond. The November election is just a few weeks away, which means early voting has already started in Massachusetts. Voters here in Massachusetts will be voting for a new president and vice president, as well as several state and federal offices, including U.S. and state senators and U.S. and state representatives. Massachusetts voters will also be deciding on several ballot measures, including the potential elimination of MCAS as a high school graduation requirement, minimum wages for tipped workers, and unionization for transportation network drivers. Early voting for the November election is open from October 19th to November 1st. Regular voting is available on Election Day, November 5th. To check out more information on early voting schedules and locations, go to the Secretary of the Commonwealth's website at sec.state.ma.us. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in sports and entertainment.
Like most parents, you dream that your kids will have a good education. You hope they'll be able to go to college or receive vocational training. You want to help your children as much as you can. Did you know that you can start investing in your baby's future today? The Baby Steps Savings Plan is a program offered by the Massachusetts State Treasurer's Office. It's a seeded college savings account program that encourages saving for college in the U Fund, the Massachusetts 529 plan. It lets you invest in your child's post-high school education and training. You'll even get a free $50 deposit when you enroll. Any baby born or adopted on or after January 1st, 2020, who is a Massachusetts resident can be enrolled in Baby Steps. Children can be enrolled in Baby Steps until they turn 1, and adopted children are also eligible up to 1 year after their adoption date. Here's how Baby Steps works. Take the first step by checking the box on the worksheet you receive at the hospital, or enroll online at babystepssavingsplan.org. Next, open a U Fund 529 college savings account, and we'll make an initial $50 deposit. After that, you can contribute to the account to build up savings as often as you want. The program also offers free financial education for your family. The earlier you start adding to the account, the more money your child will have for future aspirations like college tuition, vocational training, and other school expenses. It's a fact. Kids with college savings are more likely to attend college after high school. Take the first step. Learn more at babystepssavingsplan.org.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's Chris Curran with the latest on fall sports at Braintree High.
Braintree High School boys soccer are 2-2 in their last 4 games. with a 2-1 loss to Wellesley, a 3-1 win versus Brookline, a 4-0 win versus Walpole, and a 3-1 loss to Wellesley. Let's take a look at the highlights from their last win. McClory takes a free kick from just outside the box, where he tries to pull a fast one on the defense, but it hits off a defender going to the right of the net, where Braintree is able to get a center back to McClory, and he makes up for his mistake, scoring the goal.
McClory scores! On the header!
A Braintree defender able to find McClory getting behind the defense for a breakaway. McClory puts it on the inside post, scoring his second goal of the game. From about the 18, Braintree takes a shot on a bouncing ball, and it's just out of the reach of the diving goal. And for the fourth and final goal, O'Driscoll finds an opening and shoots just outside of the reach of the goaltender again. The boys' record now being 6-5-3. They go on this week to face Needham, Milton, and Brockton. While the girls' soccer team had a little more success in their last 4 games, going 3-1, with a 7-1 loss to Wellesley, a 5-0 win versus Archbishop Williams, a 4-1 win versus Walpole, and a 2-1 win versus Weymouth. Let's look at the highlights from their latest win. The first goal of the game coming off a free kick that finds its way through some defenders in front of the net is able to be put in.
Sideline, they score! It's Nugent.
In the second half, momentum swung in Weymouth's favor, capping off with this attempt going off the inside of the post and out. Braintree then took back the momentum, finding Carr open on a breakaway. Trying to get the edge on the defender, she finds her way to the inside and gets an angle on goal and scores.
Scores! A 2-0 margin!
A rare mistake coming from Braintree's goalie Wayland when the ball is rolling in and slips right through and out the back for a corner kick. This corner happening in extra minutes, Weymouth scores off a header with only 5 seconds left in the game. The girls' soccer team moves on to be 8-6-1 and go on to have 2 games this week versus Needham and Milton. You can catch any live or rebroadcasts of these games on Comcast Channel 12, Verizon Channel 28, our website bcam.tv, or our YouTube BCam TV. Let's send it back to Martha in the studio.
Thanks, Chris. Now, in honor of spooky season, here are a few movie recommendations for you to watch. First, Practical Magic follows Jillian and Sally, 2 witch sisters raised by their eccentric aunts in a small town, who face close-minded prejudice and a curse which threatens to prevent them from ever finding lasting love. The film stars Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. You can watch Practical Magic now on Hulu. Next up, The Addams Family focuses on a bizarre family who reconnect with whom they believe to be their long-lost relative, Uncle Fester. However, when the family starts to grow suspicious, Fester gets the Addams evicted from their home. With the realization that the Addams family fortune is in danger, the Addams must get together to challenge Fester. You can watch The Addams Family now on Paramount+. And finally, Casper focuses on a kind young ghost named Casper who peacefully haunts a mansion in Maine. When specialist James Harvey arrives to communicate with Casper and his fellow spirits, he brings along his teenage daughter, Kat. Casper quickly falls in love with Kat, but their budding relationship is complicated not only by his transparent state, but also by his troublemaking uncles and their mischievous antics. You can watch Casper now on Hulu. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCam TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCam TV. We'll see you next time.